I think you're walking with your eyes wide shut. That I do. I know many of you think or believe that you know exactly what's going on and what have you. Yeah, you do. But unfortunately, things are moving so fast. Before you know it, there'll be nothing you can do. Other than take to the streets. To get organised and collaborate with others to try and take the government down. Now, I didn't think I'd ever make a video like this one because, quite frankly, it'll probably get deleted by YouTube. And I'll probably get a strike. But I feel I'm just going to have to make it, you see. So I'm going to carry on. Now, before I do that, I'm going to sip a coffee. You see, I got an email today from a subscriber to this channel. Hello there. And you could consider this person as in a minority group. Now, I'm not going to say what minority group because I don't want to. I don't want to break their trust. But this person was worried. Or is worried. Frightened, actually, in fact. Scared. Petrified. And the message went a bit like, they enjoy the channel and stuff like that, I mean, they're just, because I generally try and take a fun stance on anything I can. Well, I like to take the mick out of idiots like Donald Trump, okay? The problem is, he's, apart from the fact that he's just a useful idiot, he is a vindictive and nasty piece of work, and everybody around him they're just the same. Nasty, vindictive, evil pieces of work. Now, I feel that you are all walking around with your eyes wide shut. Because before you know it, there'll be nothing you can do. Nothing. Other than take to the streets. Which could lead to violence. Could lead to people getting hurt. And that's the last thing anyone wants to happen, obviously, but I think that's where you're heading. Because this flippin' regime, headed by Donald Trump, fulfilling his prophecy of the Project 2025, he's railroading ahead, with all his little yes men and women around him, all suckling up to his old chocolate starfish. Yeah, I had to get that in. That I did. But this isn't really any joking matter. It really isn't. Because at some point in the future, you're going to have to stand up against this. I know there's the protests. I get that, and they've been amazing. But they're not achieving anything. They're achieving solidarity. And we're seeing the people, standing up against this. And we're seeing how people are feeling about it. But this regime don't give a shit. They'll come out with the water cannons and the rubber bullets. That's what they'll do. I think protesting has to be more clandestine. But you need to put them on notice. But also the Democratic Party needs to be put on notice. Those in the Democratic Party who do not stand up against this tyranny need to be held to account. They need to be held to the same as you'd expect. Well, the Republicans. Well, some of the Republicans are even standing up, but then, they're still voting for this shit. You've got to bring it to their doorsteps. Now, don't get me wrong, you mustn't go in there and, do anything that could be considered as, obviously aggressive or violent or dangerous, Don't go around letting the air at the tyres or cutting the brake pipes, anything stupid like that, because that would be just ridiculous. You don't do things like that. because it makes you no better than what they are. But you've got to create disturbance. You've got to make sure that they know it's the resistance, so to speak. I am in France, after all. The Marquis. But you just got to make their lives more difficult. You see, what you've got to do is, you've got to make them fear you more than they fear Donald Trump and those that are closest to him. And this also includes the law firms that are, well, quite frankly, they're really shooting themselves in the foot. Because if, for instance, Donald Trump, he falls, and who's going to hire these firms after, post-Trump? No one, will they? Not trustworthy. But there's stuff you can do that can actually stop their operation. Whether it be the lawyers, whether it be certain industries. There's stuff that you can do that's clandestine. Now, the worst thing you can do is do anything that will make people's lives harder. Ordinary folks' lives harder. Those who, quite frankly, even MAGA lot, unless they're attacking you, obviously, well then obviously you're going to have to stand up against them. But you need to try and bring them over somehow, I suppose. Because even they are starting to feel the tyranny. Not all of them, obviously. When you talk about the Bible Belt, Georgia and, the Marjorie Taylor Greene lot, you're never going to turn them. There'll be a few people there who are for the turning, but the majority, you're not going to turn. They're lost. They're just gone. The evangelicals out there, they're just crazy. As mad as a box of frogs they are. You've got pastures. Put pastures up a piece of grass. Anyway, who are currently going around, they set up an organisation that is against satellites, saying that satellites, they're stopping us being able to communicate with God, they're going. It's like batshit crazy they are. But you get to a stage when it'll be, you be the ones doing the cyber attacks and sabotage and I think you need to start with things like national strikes. You need to cut their flow of money. You see, if you hit them where it hurts, their flow of money, or their extraction of money from you, don't forget you are the taxpayers, and also you're the ones who are, using their services. Look at all those tech giants out there who bent the knee and suckled on old Donald Trump's chocolate starfish. The Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerbergs, etc., 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 etc. Cut their flow of money, and then they'll be having to spend their own money, which means that you would hope then maybe some of that will enter the system again. You might get a little bit start flowing down towards ordinary folk. Because at the moment they're just taking it. Literally taking it. Take, constantly. Sucking it from the system. And just storing it, hoarding it. See, it's just the billionaires out there. You've got people like flipping Cheryl Hines and people like that going up in that bloody rocket. Because they've got shitloads of money, blasting fuel fumes and toxic gases every bloody way, just so they can get a thrill. That's not for science. That's for personal gratification. Or fill her dreams. Where's that money go? Well, that's going to the likes of, Jeff Bezos. Cut off our subscriptions. That's what we've got to do. You see, it's not just citizens of the United States that need to do this. It's all of us around the world. We should stand in solidarity with the people of the United States to squeeze that government, to squeeze the people, who are, the billionaires who are, funding the government. Providing, for instance, pro bono legal services to Donald Trump so he can attack the news outlets and people who write stories about him. News stories. Oh, I don't like that one. Oh, sue him. Yeah. Got the likes of ABC and others. They're quite happy to bend the old knee and hand over $15 million flipping dollars. And now you've got law firms giving $500 million in worth of pro bono legal services. You see, there ain't no legal route for you. They're ignoring it. I don't care. That poor geezer, Kilmer, whatever his name was, he's who's in El Salvador somewhere. They were ordered by the courts to bring him back. They've ignored it. If they can ignore that, they can ignore anything they don't like, and they've been doing it for ages. So you need to stand up. They need to make you the ones that are fed. But don't do what like Just Stop Oil does in the UK. That is ridiculous. Trying to stop the country from moving or spraying flicking, orange dye on stuff. All they were doing is pissing people off. And it's a cause I believe in. I believe in the environment and that we need to do something, but that's not the way. Don't attack ordinary people just trying to enjoy themselves when everything is so shit. Making their lives hard so they can't get to work on time. They get penalised because they're late. Then they can't feed the kids because they lose their jobs. That's not the way. You need to be more focused. Got to hurt the people, not physically, but you got to hurt the people in their pockets. Make their lives more difficult. The ones who are cause or part of the problem. Otherwise, it's going to get violent. It's going to get violent, and I don't see any other way. And you will get the police will be on the streets with you, firing rubber bullets at you. Yeah, probably. It's probably your son, or your daughter, or someone. Doing their job, firing rubber bullets at you. Water cannons and God knows what else. This is how batshit crazy it is, and it's gonna get worse. It's happening so fast. That's the problem. So I say, walk me eyes shut. Donald Trump, I think it was today or yesterday, he had the geezer over who's building these feckin' prisons. And he's flouting the idea of actually deporting and chucking in their American citizens. Bona fide American citizens. Because they stand up against Donald Trump. You're losing your democracy. At the moment, it's actually lost. There is no democracy when there's no representation. Just isn't. Because, look at the Democrats. You've only got a few there who are really working their bollocks off at the moment, trying to, make their voices heard. I'm not talking about Cory Booker. When you look at his voting record just recently, I think, makes me wonder if he was grandstanding. Which would be a shame if he was. But I lost a little bit of faith there when I saw. That's what you got to do, you see. Whenever you think to yourself, they're pretty good. Look at their voting records. That's what you got to do. And see who they really are. See if they're weak. Like Chuck Schumer. Yeah, that's my impression. That man shouldn't be anywhere near in power, let alone the position that he holds. He's weak. You need more AOCs, you need more Bernie Sanders. Sanders or Saunders? Saunders. Saunders? Oh, I know, I've lost track. More people like that. More Tim Walshers. Because currently, the Democrats are doing diddly squat. They're not pulling their weight. They're not fighting for you. You've got a few there doing it, but the majority, no. Where are the arrests? After all these injunctions and defiance of the courts and stuff, where are the police coming to, take them away and lock them up for contempt of court and that, Nothing's happening. This is a sign. This is like a giant red flag. Big MAGA one. You need to get organised. You need to start preparing yourselves. Because things are going to get bad. If they're allowed to. You're going to need to make sure that you've got provisions, you've got food in your cupboards that you can store. Just so you've got something. Because the way it's going on at the moment with these fucking tariffs, you ain't going to have any bacon food. The relationship with Mexico, that's screwing with your food. Your relationship with Canada, screwing you with your food. Mark Carney said the other day, the relationship that you had between Canada and the United States that you both enjoyed since the war, that's over. Done. And he's right. Elbows up. He is a proper leader. He's standing up to the attack. Canada is being attacked psychologically at the moment. And also monetary, with all these fucking tariffs. Donald Trump wants to squeeze them. So they're so weak, they've got no choice but to be a part of the United States. Why would anyone want to be a part of the United States as it is in its form? Now, it has been breaking for a very long time. That's how come people like Donald Trump get in. That's why people voted for him. They thought he was the answer. It's a fucking antichrist. Well, he's just that useful tool. That's what he is. He's just there for all those around him who are creaming in the money at the moment. With all these tariffs fucking up the bond markets and screwing over your pensions. It's all about controlling you. So you got nothing. So you're desperate and you're just thankful for the crumbs. It's beg your belief. And this is just the beginning, and it's going to get really bad. Really bad. And some people turn to violence. People will get hurt. People will die. They're dying now, actually, to be fair, under Donald Trump. But, people will die fighting on the streets. That's what will end up happening. People get shot. I think that's where you're heading. And you just don't want to get to that. And don't want to participate in that. Obviously. It'd be a stupid thing to do. Because there's so many more clever ways to attack a government like that. You've got to follow the money. Remember, Donald Trump is transactional. He's transactional. Everything he's been doing since he's been in there is about money. ICE is all about the money. The shares that they hold in these corporations that are building these prisons and managing them. ICE themselves, and all these mercenaries, really, who are whipping people off the street, In fucking balaclavas and camo. It's almost like, oh, look, there's a black person. Oh, he looks like a Latino, or grab him. Oh, that must be a Venezuelan. He's got a tattoo. Some people are going to say, what can I do? Some people are going to say, oh, I don't know what to do. I understand, It's easy for me, gob on the stick and all that, blurbing all this stuff. I'm sitting here pretty here in France where I feel safe. But doesn't mean to say I can't be concerned. And I am concerned because it does obviously affect all citizens of the United States, but it affects everybody around the world. You were seen as a beacon at one point. How do you think you got that Statue of Liberty? It was a gift. About freedom. Liberty. Liberty. Like the end of an era. Don't let it be. You got to stand up. You actually got to make them fear you more than you fear them. Or Trump. Oh crikey, I'm getting tongue-tied here. You need to make them fear you more than Trump. That's it. That's what I meant. I suppose it's still right as well. Anyway, what do you say? I'm sorry, I've got a bit of a sore throat. I was struggling today. But yeah, please leave it in the comments down below, because how would you get organised for a start? You're going to need a way of doing this, and you're going to need to do it online. And it's no good doing it on platforms that are owned by the bloody corporations. You need to do it on servers that no one's got any access. The US has got no access to. But you need to get organised. You need aliases for a start. Obviously, I'll be after you. It's no good you put it on your Facebook, telling everybody what your intentions are. Don't do that, whatever you do. Don't say anything at this stage. Just think about it. Just think about what can you do. What should you do? To start, protect yourselves as individuals without you being protected. Without you doing something to make sure that you're safe. Well, then, you're quite frank, you could also end up in that gulag. Anyway, please leave in the comments down below. I'm really worried about this. I really am. And it's like, everything moves so quick. Anyway, please hit the like button, maybe subscribe to the channel, a little bell icon. Because then you get a warm fuzzy feeling in your pocket every time I upload another video about this depressing shit. I need to do a fun video next, I think. Because I'm kind of like, this is getting me down. It really is. It's just not right, is it? Anyway, if you want to support the channel, there's Patreon or bars of coffee, links down below. Might feed a dog, one or two. Or even pay for their medication. Crikey. Anyway, links down below. Let me know what you think. And, just think about how people are feeling as well. Just like that, message I got today from that person's day. It got me a bit. And I've been thinking about this for a while anyway, but anyway, I'll keep on. Just shut up, Mark. Stop. That's it. I'm finished. Toodaloo.